Thought Cops, the only podcast where every week we police the mean streets of the internet because, hey, somebody's got to do it. And then we let you be the judge, the jury, and the executioner in the court of public opinion. Coming to you live from Neo Chicago, I'm Officer Kevin.
And I'm Officer Grant.
How's it going?
Fine.
Good.
Get on with the show.
Let's thank our guest from last week, Donovan Crip Daddy Castillo. Thank you, Donovan. Woo! That was a great time. And we got a new member. We got a lot of newbies back to back on this show.
I call them noobs.
I like to call them...
I use 2 zeros instead of O's.
Oh, that is clever.
Yeah, I invented that back in 2001 playing RuneScape. Yeah.
What if instead of an S, you used the number 5?
I've done that too.
That's fucking crazy.
Sometimes I use that for passwords. You know, you spell a certain word out and use 5s and, you know, like
to which websites?
Well, like just any of them, you know, or here's another good one. If I'm really good at a shooting game, for instance, you know, I'm like an elite player. What I'll do is I'll do 1337.
Oh, okay.
It's like elite, but without the E because I'm fucking stupid and can't spell. Yeah,
that is something else.
Yeah, I invented that.
Wow.
Yeah. My name's Bill Gates, and I approve this message.
Well, we got a newbie to the family. Or I'm sorry, noob, Grant.
Yeah.
To the Thought Cops crew, we got Ben Flores. What's up, Ben? How the hell are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Ben,
thanks for coming on.
Ben is, can I call you a tour de force? You do it all. I didn't even give you a chance to answer, but I'm going to call you a tour de force anyway.
Call away.
You do improv, you do stand-up, you do a podcast called Please Save Me.
That's right.
If you want to talk a little bit about that.
Oh, I would love to. Yeah, Please Save Me. So, Please Save Me. We are proud to say that we are the world's the first and the only real recap podcast for a fictional television show. So we recap every week, me and my co-host Sarah Black, the inimitable. I know she might be imitated at some point, but not successfully. We recap a television show every week called Chicago Heroes. So Chicago Heroes is it's a procedural. It's a procedural show.
There's a million of these, right? You got Chicago PD, you got Chicago Fire, you got Chicago Med.
That's right. We roll it all into one. We roll it all into one. First couple seasons, we had a cast, and then that cast got turned over. They rebooted the show. This is the world's most successful show.
Oh wow!
Most watched show on television. Often the episodes,
my parents love it. Yeah,
they love it. The boomers are absolutely lapping up this show, which often in the canon of our world runs to about 4, 5, or 6 hours long.
Yeah,
and with long silent passages and crew walking through the shot and that kind of thing. And we rebooted it, and this current season stars the cast of Friends.
Oh, that's incredible. Yes. That was a huge get. I must assume it's, you know.
Yeah, well, the network has that kind of clout, you know. They pulled in so much. They were basically, the show was so popular for the first 2 seasons that they were sitting on cash they didn't know how to spend. So
that's crazy, man. It's like shows like that. I always wonder, like I see the advertisements for them on the sides of buses.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, who's watching these? And I'm like, oh, it's none of my fucking millennial friends on Twitter.
Everybody.
It's all of our parents and everybody else that I don't talk to in my little bubble. The rest of the world is out there enjoying this incredible show.
Yeah.
And I, for one, got to listen to find out because I'm at the water cooler at work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everybody's talking about it. And I'm like, what? I got nothing to say. I got to get out of my comfort zone.
You sound like an idiot.
I look like a fucking idiot when I do this. It's embarrassing. So yeah, I got to check that out. Check out Please Save Me podcast.
We're pushing up on we got over 50 ratings on Apple Podcasts.
Incredible.
Now. Yeah, rack them.
Get them up there, folks. Also, Ben, you're big on we were talking here on the show. Grant was like, "Oh, this guy on Twitter is really funny. Limited Breadsticks."
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, he lives in Chicago." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, that's right.
I'm like, yeah.
I think you're like one of my top 10 Twitter accounts that I like following. Just like the mixed media that you create with some of the images and some of the videos you throw together, and just the juxtaposition. I always love the juxtaposition between things that should be taken seriously and things that are inherently stupid, like video games and cartoons and just childish nonsense. And I think you do a really good job of like towing that line with a lot of stuff that you tweet out.
Thank you so much. That is so nice to hear. It really, it makes me really happy to hear that. I feel like what you're talking about right there, I learned from, it's just like in any art, in any immediate form of media, you like kind of observe what the people that you like are doing, and then you try to imitate them and then try to make it your own. So that kind of combination of taking like, a really serious screen cap or clip from a show or something and applying it to something silly is like,
and it does a lot to like knock the wind out of people's sails when you can take what they're most concerned about and you're just like, this is what I think about it. And it's just like how do you respond to it? And it's just like, I think one of them, I can't remember what Donald Trump did, but you posted 2 Donald Trumps and then the 9/11 plane crashing into him. And it's like, this is what we're doing to this is what they're doing to Donald Trump right now. And it's like, that's the perfect response
it totally blew
to
up.
the complete hysteria. Yeah.
That one went over to Tumblr and people were it was getting shared around to Tumblr. People were sending it to me back to me from Tumblr. And
wow.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You got like half people taking it completely seriously and they're like, oh my God, the conservatives are completely out of control. This is what they believe. And then the other half are like, yelling at the other half of people who don't understand that like that's what I'm mocking.
Exactly. That's the thing about having a post go, dare I say, viral on Twitter is the replies. It comes from all angles of people who just don't get it. And if you want people to see it, but then when they see it, you get all this stuff where the message is just completely misinterpreted. Yeah,
well, the benefit of if you're making a post that is completely satirical is that you sort of risk nothing by doubling down because you're not actually making an argument. So if you kind of just, if I say that one thing is literally like something else and someone gets mad at me for it, I just double down on the meaning of the word literal to where it's completely absurd.
Yeah. Exactly.
But then you can also take the wind out of someone's sails by being unexpectedly sincere, So if someone seems really upset with me for a joke I've made, I just like apologize. I just say like, this was actually a joke. I might have, sorry that it hurt your feelings. I can see your viewpoint. And then sometimes when I do that, somebody follows you right afterwards.
I've done that before too. And I'm like, you're not going to follow back.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's, I don't think we've talked about satire too much. I feel like we've talked about it a lot earlier in the show, Yeah. We don't it's sort of a bridge we don't go over that much anymore, but just like, The Onion or SNL and like I feel like established satire right nowadays is so like you see through it because you see, it's an Onion article. It's a Babylon Bee article. Like they're funny. I think that they're funny, but you see like who made it and it's like, I know that it's supposed to be a joke. And I think most people see through it. I think the real satire is sort of what we're talking about. It's like this guerrilla form of satire that like just through people creating stupid shit like that, like you do see widespread. It's funny anytime you see on CNN they pull up like, this famous Twitter account Pixelated Boat tweeted this misinformation out, and it's just like that's what sort of like pierces through all of the bullshit is like basic content creation like that, not like a megaplex abortion clinic opens up The Onion. It's like
Mall of America's own abortion clinic.
Yeah, that was an Onion article that one of the few that was taken seriously. But nowadays it's just like, you make some bullshit image, people take it seriously, like it might hit the news, and then they make it worse, which is even funnier.
Exactly.
Yeah, I tweeted when the Elon Musk, the Tesla truck came out. Yeah. I created I used my basic web editing skills to I found an Elon Musk interview, and then I wrote a quote from him into that interview in which he's describing the fact that the truck has no brake pedal.
I remember that.
They trust it. They trust it, and started getting taken seriously. And so once it hit a certain kind of threshold, I was like, my interest here was in clowning on Elon Musk. Yeah. Like my interest is not in people is not in people believing that this is true. Like that doesn't help me in any way. You know, like I want people to laugh at it, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, it's like, hey guys, I made this up. You know, like the truck has a brake pedal.
It's a spoof. It's a goof, folks.
Yeah, we love to have fun though.
Yeah, you gotta. You seen the news? You gotta have some.
This clown that's in office.
Oh.
He'll fill up a clown car on his own.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, speaking of telling people about things, do we got any show news this week?
Stay tuned. The day of reckoning is coming.
Fantastic. Well, do we move on to 2 minutes of hate then?
Yes. Oh, Grant, of course, 2 minutes of hate, the very famous, very favorite segment of the show. I say this every week and I can't get it right. Basically, we talk about the things that we see on the internet that they fucking bother us, man. I'm going on Twitter, on my toilet, my legs are asleep. I've been on Twitter so fucking long.
It's because they installed those work toilets that have you gradually slide forward so you can't sit there for more than 10 minutes.
They know what's going on in there.
Playing the hits.
Yeah. And I'm just sitting there getting mad at myself, and it's not helping the movement come out any faster, let me tell you. But I digress. It gives me content for this wonderful show we get to do every single week, Grant.
Right.
So that's right. My 2 minutes of hate this week is... This is sort of a trend I've been doing every week here on the show. Kind of like to try to rack them up back to back. This is another one of these weird weekly posts I see on Twitter that comes from a different account every week. Yeah. Final Fantasy VII is political. Actually, it's political. So, Ben, have you played Final Fantasy VII before?
I have not, no.
Now, Grant, you haven't played it, have you?
I own it. I have not. I have the PS1, like the 2-disc thing, and I have a PS2, but I just don't touch the PS2 enough. I should get it for Switch.
Yeah, it's where I just beat it on Switch recently. Great game.
Maybe I will.
But every week somebody's like, you know what? Actually, and the game does have some, political message or environmental message behind it. But every week on Twitter, somebody's out there being like, because the remake is coming out, it's back in the zeitgeist, and people are just, oh, you can't like this game if you think this politics, or you can't like, and there's like a weird back and forth, and it comes from all angles where they're like, actually, they said that this is wrong. Actually, if you played the game, they did say it was wrong, but then they said it was right, and it's like,
actually, Cloud's a conservative.
I don't know.
I don't give a shit.
He's got a big sword, and he fights monsters.
Oh, he sounds like Antifa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he doesn't have a milkshake in this game, I'll tell you that. So, yeah, every week there is this... It's like clockwork, like the South Park thing. Final Fantasy VII, just a reminder, it's a political game. Yes, it is. Do I have to see it on Twitter every single week?
Do you have to be constantly inundated with it and just beat over the fucking head with a giant buster sword with it all the fucking time?
Right. It's practically a copy-paste. Dare I say a copy pasta? Is that something people say anymore?
I think that's more of like a...
You're thinking like Kofifi pasta.
Oh, now we're talking.
Classic Kofifi pasta. I think a copy pasta is more of like a diatribe, of like a paragraphs long, I saw Moby at the grocery store and he bought 12 ramen packages that he, had you scan 12 different times because of electronic transference.
And I asked him if I could talk to him and he said, I don't know, can you?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Final Fantasy VII is a politics game. Much like everything else these days. So, but if you want to keep reminding me of this fact,
hit him with it.
Your punishment.
Yeah.
Let's see. Spin the wheel. Let's spin the wheel.
All right, let's spin the wheel.
Flip the script. Let's see.
Oh shit.
Maybe we're already living in the Final Fantasy world, Sometimes I go by Trump Tower and I'm like, what is that? Shinra Core? I'm standing, the box.
Yeah.
He's staring up at the building. Yeah. I'm there with my fucking big ass blade staring up at the Trump logo and I'm like, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
Rufus Trump.
That sounds pretty cool. That's a good punishment. I like that one.
It's badass.
Yeah.
Ben, you got something bugging you see on the internet? I know you're on Twitter a lot. There's got to be something.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's bugging me online. Okay. Perform a little bit of self-criticism here.
Okay.
It's my own lack of an ability to force myself to mute or cut out or block out things that I know will lead me to have a poor experience on the computer.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for example, it's easy to say, well, I don't like slurs, for example. I don't like them. I don't want to hear them. I don't want to read them. And I don't want to give the time of day to people who think they're funny. So I can mute those. Right.
Yes.
And if I see somebody that I engage with online using one, I can block them or mute them or unfollow them. Right. Yeah. Often I find that the mute is the safe way to go. Right. Because you block somebody, well, then
they get that screenshot of this person blocked you.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
And then you've lost.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And you don't know what they're saying about you on the other side of the block.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I want to keep I want to keep my enemies close.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh yeah.
But the enemy that I keep closest to myself is myself. Because what I really should do is do this with things that are not in the category of, obviously I'm opposed to them. I should do it with things that I'm passionate about, but that are not going to have an impact on my day-to-day life. Other than for example, I could do this with Hillary Clinton, right?
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of people love to scream on the internet about Hillary Clinton. Yeah. Fair to say.
Yeah.
People who love her and people who hate her. And I have my own passionate feelings about not wanting to hear from her. So I finally got myself to just let's mute the words, because there's never going to be a point where the information is essential to my day about how a political figure entered the national conversation. But I should also do this, for example, for Bernie Sanders, who I support, vote for. I've made calls for him.
Right.
My day-to-day life would probably be a better experience if I just muted the word Bernie Sanders off the internet, because it's always going to lead to, there's always going to be some sharp feeling involved with learning this information about whatever's going on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes positive, but I'm not sure that the negative outweighs the positive.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, these days, obviously, it's a roller coaster ride logging on, and I've more recently learned not to block, but to turn the other cheek and mute.
Yes.
Just as I'm sure Jesus would have done if he had an account.
Jesus would have muted the Pharisees, or the Pharisees are no good, right? Or are they good ones?
No, there was the Pharisees, and there was another, the Sadducees.
Because there was a song when I was getting, I don't want to be a Pharisee. It was like a church song, Bible.
I think they were the leaders of the temple that had all this money and wealth,
slaves and that kind of thing.
Like, hey, don't do that. And they're like, you're bad. We're gonna kill you. And then they did. And he came back from it though. Yeah.
And he didn't even mute him. He listened to him. So.
But we don't all have to do that.
Jesus turns the same cheek.
Yeah, and he
just keeps the same cheek up.
He just smiles and
lets you keep hitting it.
He keeps posting. So
keep calm and chive on.
Exactly.
God.
That was on his epithet, I believe.
Yeah,
and that's what that's from. Yeah, that's what that's from.
It's on that big boulder in front of his grave.
Right.
That's right. Keep calm and chive on. That's what was on the boulder that Mary Magdalene rolled away after 3 days. Yeah. And you seek the living among the dead, right? Because to the chive it's no more, right? Does the chive, right? Does it still exist?
I have no idea.
If it doesn't exist anymore, joke I just made was great.
It'll rise again. Yeah. But the whole thing with blocking and even muting is at least my worry was, I don't want to live in a bubble or I just read and hear things from people who think the same as me. However, at the same time, like you said, you don't want to have a bad experience every day, because it's Twitter
it does burn you out.
Exactly.
I follow a lot of accounts that I probably shouldn't. One, because like Kevin said, I don't want to fucking live in a bubble. I do understand that people have concerns that are outside my understanding that, sometimes do need to get addressed in a different sort of way. But that doesn't mean I need to follow Stefan Molyneux and just get in his mentions every once in a while, just in terms of maybe I can say all these jokes that he's making about eggs. Maybe I can call him an egg and I'll get about 5 likes and 1 new follower.
Feels
maybe
good, though,
it'll fucking work.
Oh yeah.
Feels good though, doesn't it?
But I don't do it that often.
It's a dunk an egg.
I don't do it that often though. It's just a lot of times I'll type something out and I'll just delete it right away. I don't know.
The ratio of the number of things that you have to see that upset you from that doesn't outweigh
No, it doesn't.
the dopamine you get from stuffing them.
And sometimes I'll like follow accounts like that and then unfollow when I get really tired of them, and then I'll refollow them.
Yeah, you do the math and it's like, it's not worth it.
No.
So now here's your chance. You can punish. Well, I guess you can punish yourself.
You're punishing yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it always a punishment? Okay.
It's a sentence. It doesn't have to be some form of punishment. It can be like, there's that one judge that, gives you the option of like, would you like, jail time, or would you like ironic punishment that's going to teach you, not to steal or something.
Go to drug court, but it's a cool drug. It's a cool drug court led by a cool judge.
Yeah,
right. Lets you do a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to sentence myself to I'm going to give myself restorative justice.
Okay.
So my job my sentence is that I have to, and it's going to be a job. I'm going to get paid for this. Court's paying me to do it. I'm going to I need to, let's think positively instead of negatively. So, I should positively seek out bringing things into my online life that make me happy, rather than focusing on the need to cut out the negative things.
Sure.
So I can still restore the balance.
Yeah.
But do it by, instead of getting rid of the negative, bring in more positive.
Here's an idea. For every cute puppy account you follow, you can follow a Nazi. Back and forth.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yin and yang. That's what it's all about.
Maybe the worlds will collide at some point, and the Nazi will kill the puppy from the other account.
Or the puppies will be Nazis themselves.
There we go.
Yeah.
Milkshake puppies.
Exactly. Didn't that happen to that? Actually, that did happen. Wasn't that dog rating account?
Oh
yeah. Shit, I forgot about that.
The irate dogs. Is that where they're at?
We rate dogs or irate dogs. Yeah.
And there was some we talked about it like 3 years ago or something.
I do remember that. I don't remember the exact case, but Jesus, there's an example and a counterexample for literally everything on the internet. Like, pull up anything, you're going to find an example from the past, and you're going to find something that completely negates the example from the past. It hurts my brain.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Every week.
Takes all kinds.
Oh, yeah. Grant, what do you got for us?
Well, speaking of hurting my brain, politics is really like giving me brain damage nowadays. Just like all of it. And I don't know. I try and be optimistic in the sense that I do think things do get better over time, but it takes hard work, and it takes people, like we were saying, going a little outside the filter bubble every once in a while, trying to build bridges. I do feel like every time we bring up politics on the show, it's like, it's done in a way that's like, I do understand. I think we have some listeners that are more on the left side of the spectrum, and we do have some listeners that are more on the right side of the spectrum. And I always try and like bridge that gap in terms of like, what's a mutual understanding that we can all sort of hate on, Hillary Clinton, for instance, or the opposite of whatever. I don't know. But, Bill Clinton. I think that's pretty.
That's the yin and yang in the center. Yeah.
But I have a big issue with this. Has come up more and more, and I think this week sort of it hit a critical mass point. But like the idea of liberalism as being lifestyle branding. I have this tweet from Garbage Ape on Twitter, and I liked it, and I identified with it a lot. Which is to say, he said Warren on SNL, Buttigieg on Kimmel, Jamie Dimon in at Treasury. Liberalism is entertainment and lifestyle branding for professionals, a blank check for Wall Street. I'm ashamed to have ever voted Democrat. And it's like, yeah, I get that. Like, I'm more on the left side of the spectrum, I think. We've talked about Bernie however much or whatever, and I agree with that. It doesn't mean I have to shove it down people's throat in this show, because this show isn't necessarily a political show. But there's things that I care about, and there's things where I'm just like, I don't care about this. I would like to see a female president in my lifetime, and I think that that'll probably happen sooner or later. That doesn't mean that I want a Photoshop of Elizabeth Warren as Arya Stark done completely without any semblance of irony.
Oh, my God.
Or the nonstop, incessant talking about Harry Potter in terms of it being like a valid criticism. And we've talked about the Harry Potter political shit before, but it's like, it's still fucking is, people still do it. And then the idea of like, this being just like a brand that's sold to you is like liberalism, and you're like, well, what is it? And you're just like, it's when Pete Buttigieg goes on Jimmy Kimmel and hosts, and he has a good time doing it. I don't care. I don't care about the shit. I don't care about the fucking, like, the image of what people think or the idea of civility or any of this shit when it boils down to a lot of it. It's just like, do you care what you're fighting for? Or do you want to do a silly, fun dance with Kate McKinnon? I don't care if you do the dance, but like, what does that say when people can't afford their insulin and they fucking are dying? And you're just like, well, I'm going to take time. I'm going to grieve my campaign, and then I'm going to go and dance with Kate McKinnon on SNL. And that's going to be my Yas Queen moment. I'm just like, it feels like everything's fucking marketed to me all the time. And I'm sick of fucking advertisements and marketing and people shoving shit down my throat at all fucking points in time. And you're like, oh, well, maybe this will be the one change that I see in the world that makes things different, that like nothing's ever going to get permanently better, but it's going to improve in some way that I hope to see over a long period of time. And it's just like being sold out to this idea that just like, oh, at the end of the day, it's just professional wrestling. Like, we're all just in it for entertainment, you know? Like, it hurts my brain.
What was it? What did AOC reply to that SNL clip with?
Okay, this is legendary.
Yeah.
Making fun of the Ben Shapiro.
I don't know if she was.
No, I think she was.
Because I saw a lot of people like who were upset about it.
I think AOC was being...
I think she was being sardonic.
You think? I think she was being sincere. Well, I think she was being sincere with, like... I think she meant that it was... I think she liked it. I think she thought that Elizabeth Warren's appearance on SNL was cool. But I think at the same time, she was being hyperbolic when she called it legendary. So she's like kind of making fun of the, like, this is epic. Well, at the same time, it's not like she meant the opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because she likes Elizabeth Warren.
You could be
she's
right,
not like AOC doesn't need to dunk on Elizabeth Warren.
She's also a big Bernie person, and like has endorsed Bernie, and is probably one of the people that's like, hey, you should endorse the person who's more ideologically aligned with you. But you could be right too. I don't really fully know. I
mean, we can all agree it was epic, though.
We can all agree that it was. It's just totally about whether you should say epic. It. You know?
Yeah.
It was obviously epic.
Right.
Yeah.
At AOC, are you joking, or please let me know. DM me.
Let's figure this out.
Send feet. Yeah, I don't know. But other than that, I don't think I have anything else to add to that. It's just, it's been bugging me more and more, you know, and I think it culminated to a head where it's just, it's like the Stephen Colbert pretending to, you know, really hate Donald Trump. And then he takes the picture with Sean Spicer. They're joking around and stuff. And it's just like, it's not funny. Like, there's not anything. I derive no value from you doing this. And you pretending to put him on Dancing with the Stars and shit like that. Like, oh, he's fine. Like, I don't care. And it's not that I have an issue with someone who has different political ideas from me, but from an entertainment standpoint, if they're trying to sell me a product and a lifestyle all the time and just fucking jamming it down my throat. And you look at some conservatives who are just like, this is why I don't like it. And it's like, I fucking get it. I get it, man, because I don't fucking like it either.
So do something about it, man. Punish them.
I'm gonna. Shit, I haven't thought of a punishment.
Hit the wheel, man.
I'm gonna spin the wheel like a lazy jackass.
That's what it's here for.
Careful what you wish for.
Oh, Martin's edition.
This is a classic monkey paw. Actually, I should just write monkey paw on that. But careful what you wish for. So, I don't know. Maybe since this is what I want is for people to take things a little more seriously. Maybe now everyone takes everything too seriously, and I get punished because, you know. Or would this be more of well, I guess I'm punishing them, not myself. Either way, I'm getting punished. So let's punish the people that are, you know, doing this in a sense. You know, people that are like, yes, Queen, Warren equals Hufflepuff, Arya Stark, whatever bullshit. I think, yeah, you go live in that fucking fantasy world. Like they drug you up, they stick you in a fucking padded room, they put you in a straitjacket, and like you can fucking, you're just not part of society anymore.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's dark.
Yeah, well, welcome to Thought Cops. Let's move on to the next stories.
Yeah, let's get on to our meat and potatoes of the show. I heard you saying you didn't like when I said that when I was in the bathroom earlier.
Oh, I was explaining to him what the beef before potato segment was. Because we haven't done one of those in a while. I haven't beefed with anyone lately.
Gotta beef more.
I have a feeling you'd be in a beef if someone, if there's some people who heard your 2 minutes of hate you just did, you could drum yourself up a couple of juicy steaks.
I'm sure.
Just send that around.
I might.
Yeah.
Clip it out and reply with it whenever you see someone mention a Harry Potter house.
Yeah, Zwick, can we isolate that and get some beef, please? Thank you. Anyway, if you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news stories, and then we sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and quite often unusual punishment. Let's talk about Ben. I know you're a Twitter guy, but are you a TikTok man?
Not a TikTok man. Now, the great thing about the kind of collapse of the internet into basically, I don't know, how much internet is there now? There's more than there ever was, but there's also less because it's like you have just a handful of platforms through which almost all media filters.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Google and Facebook are like the two top websites through which like 90% of all traffic goes through.
Right. And then you've got like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, these other social media platforms, Reddit, I guess. And it doesn't matter that I've never logged into TikTok in my life. I've seen thousands of them because they're going to get downloaded and then re-uploaded as somebody else's content on another platform.
Yeah.
So have you seen the Okie Boomer TikTok?
Okie Boomer.
Yes. You know the one.
Okie Boomer.
But let's play it anyway. Let's have a look.
Actually, should we maybe not play this actually? Because this got taken down for copyright. I don't know if I want our episode. What song is this? She's dancing to a song called Okie Boomer that's also gone viral recently. But who made this song? Because whoever made this song like pulled it.
The Lumineers.
I would believe you.
I don't think that your podcast would get taken down because I don't think that whoever does the automatic kind of crawling for clips of music, I don't think they crawl podcast.
I don't think so
but
either.
They might send a spider over.
We'll get like a YouTube like copyright notice or something like that, but they leave it up and we don't make any fucking money off of YouTube anyway.
Our listeners at home might not know.
Because it goes on YouTube. Got it. Yeah.
Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer.
So that was it.
It is kind of catchy though.
Yeah, it's been stuck in my head all week.
Whatever you say, boomer.
I mean, so people are mixed on this. They're like, okay, this is cringy.
So the one narrative that I've heard is everybody has said, this is cringy, but the girl in the video, I'm a simp for her.
Yes.
I'm a simp for her big time. I don't even care that she's wearing that Bernie shirt. I'm in the alt-right. I'm a literal Nazi, and I love this woman. I want to marry her.
I think the fact she's wearing a Bernie shirt makes a guy like that like her even more.
I think so, yeah.
Because it's like she's his enemy.
Yeah.
So he gets to feel like he gets to feel like he's unique for being attracted to her.
That's true. So
it's like Ben Shapiro wanting AOC's feet pics. He's like, I gotta have them.
Regular Romeo and Juliet.
Ben Shapiro, bigger crush on AOC than anybody else in the world.
Yeah.
I ship him. Just kidding. People are in love with her, but they also, I guess they more so hate the song, you know? It's that the dance is whatever, and the fact that she's like wearing the Bernie shirt when she's doing it is kind of lame, I guess.
Yeah.
But who did the song for real?
I thought it's like a YouTube person did it. Okay. I can pull it back up, but it doesn't matter at the end of the fucking day.
It's not real music.
Yeah.
It's just,
it's not a Clearance Creedence Clearwater. I'm so fucking
Clearance Creedwater Revival.
Creedence Water Revival Cleared Water Creed.
So here's the sad part of the story is the video got taken down. As we said, copyright. Whoever this was filed a copyright claim on the account.
I got a piece to say about that. I am currently one copyright strike away from having my Twitter account suspended.
Shit,
Really?
Yes.
What's happened thus far? And how many strikes do you get?
Apparently, you get 6.
Wow.
I didn't know you got 6 until I had 5.
What?
And they sent me, because they'd sent
Really?
me a few. So I used to make these pretty elaborate videos, and I would score them with songs that I didn't have the copyright to.
Right.
And I got a few takedown notices for those, all from Universal Music Group, which just, you've experienced this, right?
It could be a song that you wrote, and they'll still claim it.
Yeah, because they just
it's
crawl
fucking
through
bullshit.
crawl through the internet for this stuff.
Yeah.
So I had 3 strikes for using Eminem's song "Stan." I used about 20 seconds of that song, and then I had 1 for, get this, Creedence Clearwater Revival. Fortunate Son.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
And that one was the last one. They said if you get 1 more strike, your account is suspended.
You don't fuck with Creedence.
No, don't fuck with Creedence, and because that's going to come back on you. And they don't give you these strikes. It's not like YouTube where they crawl it like immediately.
Appeal it.
Well, you can appeal it, but
Okay.
I don't have a leg to stand on here because I technically don't own the rights to Creedence Clearwater Revival's music. But
sometimes though, if you take it down, like on YouTube, I think if you take it down, they take it away. I think I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, I looked into it, and it seems like I was on thin ice. So I went back through all of my videos I'd ever uploaded over years and deleted anything that had music in it. Just play it safe.
Idea.
So I feel for this girl.
Yeah, it's rough.
I feel for her.
This is her one thing.
That's all she had to live for.
TikTok, it's keeping us all going.
There's a backlash to there's the backlash to her video of people who think it's cringy, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is a word that probably needs some unpacking. It's because it kind of can like stand in for a few different things.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't even have to say cringy. You can just say cringe now. Yeah, this is
which
cringe.
I think is worse. This is cringe.
That itself is kind of cringe.
Although if you post, bro, this is cringe, then it's cool because you're detached from it.
Oh, if you about your own thing.
Yeah.
If you do something and you say,
well, sometimes, yeah, but if someone posts something and I'm like, bro, you just posted cringe, it's like, well, that's funny because I'm saying it. I don't know.
It's
There's so
cringe
many
of you to
fucking
have
layers.
too much of a feeling about what they did.
Exactly.
And you're sharing it.
Yeah.
But if you say, bro, it's like,
we're wasting our lives.
this gets to the bottom of it. She's got the Okie Boomer girl's got us talking about her, and that's how they win.
I mean, it's a true hero of the internet this week.
She's got 92,000 followers. That's 10 times the amount of followers as me. It makes me sad.
How many do we think that she had before she put out this video?
I don't know.
Do you
That's a
think it
good
doubled?
question. I'd say it probably shot up to that number right away.
Yeah.
I don't know. It says she's a Twitch streamer.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know something, but this certainly hit the cultural zeitgeist.
She going to speak at one of the Bernie rallies?
Yeah. I hope we can speak at one of the Bernie rallies and unpack the word cringe like we just did, or do like a college lecture on it.
Yeah, cringe. It's like embarrassing.
Like with slideshows and like a laser pointer.
We got to go back to the very first instance of posted cringe. It all began with Gutenberg's Bible. There was a typo.
Ugh, cringing so hard. Yeah, her account was briefly suspended, but I guess they reinstated it.
Yeah, that's true. That's another part. She got banned on Twitter, and then shortly thereafter brought back on. So as of this recording, she is still active.
And what's her name? I don't know if we hit what is
It's
this?
like at Nico, Neeko.
Okay, all right. N33KO.
Yeah.
But everybody's got a different way to spell Nico. Doesn't it seem like that?
There's
like 7.
2 in our Discord at least, and then there's this one,
Nico Case.
Nico Case,
the singer-songwriter.
And that's a different one,
but that's
a different way to spell it than even the ones that we know.
Is it?
And different than the Nico that's with Velvet Underground, like Velvet Underground and Nico.
And that's Nico,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
What world?
Versus Nico versus Nicou. What the fuck?
So who
people? Come on.
Let's punish.
Well, but before we get to the punishment, Simps on Suicide Watch, because she mentioned on a stream last night that she has a boyfriend.
Oh, that's what I forgot to mention.
That's
here.
why she got banned, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. People got upset about that.
Yes.
So they mass reported it.
Yeah. So to me,
Hell yeah.
that seems like a much bigger crime than posting cringe. Sort of the
They deplatformed her.
having le rage.
Oh,
Yes.
like a fucking sir.
God.
I'm tired of it all.
Yeah,
Men have class. Boys have swag.
that is so fucking true. This was a swagless incident, full of cringe.
There's no way that anybody that reported her had any swag.
No.
Yeah.
Or class.
But the only people that are in the appropriate age category to be so enamored of her are boys, is the thing. Because she's pretty young. She's 19 apparently,
when
and
someone
looks 16.
pops up like that and everyone's sort of fawning over it, I do have to do like a third-party verification of just like, I don't know, how should I feel about this? Because she looks like she's like 17. I don't know. I'm not. People were comparing it to the hit or miss girl.
Yeah, because she does that same...
What's hand on chin.
Somebody actually made a political compass. It was the hit or miss girl, this girl... Belle Delphine,
right,
and then some other girl with a communist flag who does it too.
Hell yeah!
So they're just like, this
is the thinking This is the thinking hand on chin.
Yeah, but it's not
just that.
It's like like you're making a check mark.
It's the alpha. It's the alpha e-girl stance.
It's like an anime. Yeah, like an anime alpha e-girl.
Right, and you said it's a check mark. It says verify me.
Listeners out there, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hold your hand out in front of you and
right
make an L. You're going to get a sharp right angle on that hand, and then you're going to turn it, rotate it around so that it's facing away from you like a check mark, and place that under your chin.
Yeah, what's the?
You're going to get in the mirror and look
this
at
portion of skin right here between the thumb and the forefinger. This
Does that
skin
have a
arrest.
name?
I think it does, but I can't remember. Like the webbing, the
skin.
webbing.
Did you call it the skin rest? The chin rest. It's like the chin rest for your.
Yeah,
for your
that's where it goes.
Skin rest for your chin.
And it's sort of the opposite of that Smash Mouth song. Shape of the L on her forehead, shape of an L on her chin.
Yeah.
She's an e-girl.
Well, the follows start coming and they don't stop coming.
Oh,
back to the web, and you hit the timeline running. Did it make sense not to post for fun? Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb.
Yeah.
Is there a way you can work an irony poisoning in there somehow?
I think that's already. Maybe
I think
that's in the chorus.
The irony poisoning is the fact that I started singing it.
Wait, hey now, you're
a douchebag. Sorry.
No. Hey now, you're.
I just wanted to say douchebag. I don't know.
Hey now, you're a.
Well, we were talking about e-girls, I suppose.
Hey now, you're an e-girl.
Get your stream on, go play.
That's beautiful.
God.
Get your stream on, go play.
You know what I'm going to have to do the rest of the night before we post this episode is I'm going to have to write this song. This is going to be the outro.
Only send me feet pics.
Hey now, you're a reply guy.
Yes.
So it's hey now you're a rock. Hey now you're an rock star. Get the show on, go play. Hey now you're an all-star. Get the game on, get paid. Is that basically what it is?
Yeah.
So reply guys don't get paid.
Oh,
so
shit, that's a good point.
So
here we go.
You would switch,
hey now,
you would switch the sections of the chorus then.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you do? Hey now, you're a reply guy. Get your
comments.
Get your comments on. Or hey now,
Something
you're a reply guy.
sweet.
Get the follow back. Get paid.
Yes.
There we go. That's reply guys get paid in courtesy faves, I guess. I suppose.
I feel like that's true.
Get the courtesy fave. There we go. We go. We've made it work.
This is probably going to be way funnier than the actual finished product if there is one. Just us sitting here.
Sanitize out all the...
Maybe that will just be the outro, is just us redoing the bit. Although we can't redo the bit. Can only do the bit once.
Lightning in a bottle. Like tears in the rain.
Both.
Speaking of tears...
Uncatchable.
So there. Speaking of tears and speaking of e-girls, y'all know this Alinity
I have a vague familiarity with her because I have to do the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. I don't know what she does, who she is. I refuse to learn.
She's an e-girl. She's getting her stream on. She's getting paid, I assume, by simps.
And good for her.
Yeah.
Actually, no, we covered this story.
We covered the original one where
she threw her cat.
Yes.
Okay, I remember now. I remember.
And the cat came back the very next day, or should I say stream.
And I don't wanna miss a thing.
So she's singing, what's it called? Her cat comes up and bites her like... Should I replay that? Did you guys see how much skin that cat got?
Run that back, Jack.
Or she get some of that, what is it, skin hand webbing? What'd you guys call it?
Well, like...
the skin...
Slap?
I can't
skin
remember
flap,
anymore.
skin rest.
Yeah.
Doctors call it a hand pussy.
Yes, that's right.
And I don't wanna miss a thing.
All right, just wait for it. There's the cat.
When I dream
Look at how much skin that is.
Oh,
that's a
Machi,
huge
machi.
amount.
Ow. Owie, owie, owie.
And then she just like
And she's in
silently,
pain. She's in real pain.
like silent whimpering.
And she's like,
And the cat did not bite and run away.
No,
Yeah,
it like
the cat
stared her
bit.
the fuck down.
And
It's
then-
like, fuck you,
Yeah.
bitch.
The cat was daring her to turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
yeah, that was a terrifying moment.
Stayed right there, ready to bite again.
Oh man.
Good on that cat.
My cat has never done something like that.
You know, I'll tell you what. If somebody whipped me across the room, I'd bite them.
For sure.
That would be your first course of action is just go out and go bite him.
Well, I would, like the cat, plan my moves for months. And then make sure that when she's on stream singing karaoke to Aerosmith,
Right.
I'll bite her. And I'm
good.
not going anywhere either.
Yeah. And just stare angrily. That was good. There's also something real satisfying about the way that she like cried after that.
Yeah.
Which
And she
is
just
just
kind of like looked down at the cat like, how could you do this to me? And the cat's like,
I feel like she didn't feel pain, but it like there was the very clear understanding of like, I'm being recorded right now. I'm on stream and I want sympathy. Like that's what that felt like to me.
Yeah.
You
that
think
was
that
the
the pain was
sympathy cry.
performative?
I think that there was some pain. I think it was more of like, when like something scares you like that and you don't feel like the pain right away.
Yeah.
But it was like, what do I do?
It was a little bit like a kid falling down and crying.
Yeah.
And then when they get their attention met,
exactly.
they just stop crying immediately.
Yeah.
Like they weren't crying because they were in pain. They
As
were
soon
crying
as
'cause
she
of this-
got a couple $50 donations to her stream,
Right.
she was like, okay, guys, let's
To get a new
let's take
cat.
this from the top.
How much you want to bet some of those like
Don't spend it all in one place.
some of those simps are going to try to get that cat euthanized?
There we go. Now, I'm not a Twitch guy. And I don't follow anybody on Twitch. Hardly ever watch it. But I'd be happy to. We could start a GoFundMe to get this cat put down.
Let's do it, boys.
And it feels like a pretty good grift to me. Because, I mean, I think we could bilk some money out of some people.
Yeah, because I
yeah.
feel like it probably costs like $30.
Probably, yeah. Well, yeah, if you got a guy.
Right, and
Yeah, I got a
keep,
guy.
Yeah, we keep the rest,
Hey, sorry. It turns out hey, to all my followers and backers, sorry. It turns out it's still illegal to have somebody else's cat put down. I'm trying to get the money refunded out to you guys.
Yeah,
trying to figure it out.
The bank's telling me no. I'm going to keep fighting it.
Trying to reverse wire it, but no, I just got the systems all crossed. I don't know what's
Wearing
going
a
on.
golden crown on
That's
stream.
right. Yeah.
And one of those like regal like spotted capes.
The gold chain.
Yes. So who do we punish here? I mean, definitely not the cat.
So
Or
the cat didn't receive the ire for this, and we always punish the person who's received the ire of the internet, which is her.
Yeah.
I mean, in a certain way, this is her just desserts.
I got it.
Yeah.
She has to stream in a lion's den. And see if
While she's singing karaoke.
Yes. And if she lasts for 1 hour, she walks.
Yeah.
Up until that point, she's basically living chum.
It's pretty good.
I dig it.
I'm down with it.
What we got next?
Let's do one more.
Let's talk about the last one there. Unless you don't want to.
Okay.
We don't have to.
The fact that I don't want to means that I really want to. You take us through it, though.
So, boys, obviously politics kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And we all love when Hollywood weighs in. Like we said, it's fun. It's just fun to think of what it would be like if politics was a little more like Harry Potter or Game of Thrones or any of the movies we know and love. So this week, Christian Bale, he said that...
Batman?
Well, even better. He said that because he played, American Psycho,
Right.
Patrick Bateman, you're close. Bateman,
Batman. It's all...
He said if Patrick Bateman were around today, that he would try to run for president. Oh! Can you believe this? No, that would be kind of crazy. And let's just talk about... We're talking crazy here. We're talking about American Psycho. Sometimes people reference the book or the movie, and I'm not sure if they're talking about the guy in the White House. So Christian Bale...
No, you didn't.
I went
You
there.
didn't go there.
We may have to cut that one out, Zwick. I'm sorry. You got your work cut out for you this week.
And he'd actually be a German psycho because his name is it's a Drumpf.
Oh.
Fuck, man.
Can we remake the film?
Can we delete this episode? This is too... This can't possibly hit the airwaves.
They won't let it out.
Yeah.
NSA's already heard it.
It says, Donald Trump would have been somebody he looked at and said, right, I need to have a little bit of that as well. If Bateman were around today, he'd probably be inspired to run for president. Guy like that for running for office.
I just like that he says the sentence, if Bateman were around today, he'd be inspired to run for
He thinks he's
president.
real.
As if he was a real person that had died. And if he was still alive,
It's like Harry Potter, rest his soul, would have been...
because Harry Potter is a historical work.
yes.
Yeah.
That all happened, just like Game of Thrones. Harry Potter's about a time that happened a long time ago.
Yeah,
The 90s.
Yeah,
if he was still alive today, he would have been a centrist Democrat.
Patrick Batman.
Patrick Batman.
Yeah.
If he was alive today, he'd be...
and on that note, people say that
Like
for...
the furthest right Democrat.
Yeah.
Whatever the...
He'd be Bloomberg.
There we go.
And people do say the same thing about Batman, too. They're like, he would have been one of the... Antifa, or... he's like an Antifa Bloomberg, for God's sakes.
We've already established that Joker is Antifa.
Well, when Batman and Joker are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
So I guess Batman is alt-right.
Batman, is Batman like DSA?
DC.
So
I suppose Batman's he's a eye for an eye kind of a guy.
well,
Yeah.
there's like this like weird narrative that I keep popping into that I see pop up online, which is like Batman is a fascist icon.
Mm-hmm.
He's always telling Robin to pull himself up by his utility belt.
Fuck. That hit a lot harder than I thought that it would.
Not to sag his
That's
cape.
good.
It's about ethics
like
and
a sign.
superhero,
It's like a sign you would see in a deli. It says,
Yeah.
If your cape is sagging, no service for sagging capes.
We're trying to run an establishment here. Show some respect.
No cape, no mask, no service.
Cowl or nothing.
And every time he would stop and frisk him in the comics, it's I don't know. That wasn't as good, but you
There'd be like those like onomatopoeias, like kapow, stop, frisk, whatever. The old 70s Batman. Anyway,
we haven't found a gun on Robin yet, but if we keep trying.
So bringing it back to the world of finer cinema here. Yeah.
American Psycho.
What do you guys think? Would you vote for him? I mean, what are our options,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, there you
anybody
go.
but Trump.
Who would he be running against? Oh, he'd be in this election. So he'd be running in this election, and we're proposing that Patrick Bateman he'd be running as a Democrat.
Yeah, a centrist Democrat.
Yeah. Basically, he'd be running a law. He'd be running like a different version of. He'd be like what Bloomberg has done, except he wouldn't be even making a nod towards apologizing for anything.
Yeah, well,
Like it would just be.
I also wonder though, because I haven't seen the movie in a long time.
I just recently watched it again.
And I never read the book, but there's the part at the end where like his secretary scrolls upon his notebook and she sees all these like horrific things that he's been drawing and stuff like that. And it's almost sort of basically assumed that like none of it sort of happened, that it's all happening in his head. And it's like this externalization of like his sort of like inner masculinity needing an outlet.
Real quick, that was Melania going through Trump's Twitter drafts.
Fuck. So like, but the funny narrative is that like Patrick Bateman if you take that to be sort of the moral of the story, which is to say, like, oh, it's this sort of like repressed figure that like needs an outlet, so he's imagining all these horrific things, but he never acts on them.
Yeah.
Then he didn't even do anything bad in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, he's an American.
Well, this is thought cops. Are you proposing that thought crimes are not real?
Oh God, you got me. Fuck.
Trapped in your own little web of logic. No, I agree with you.
Not when we're around, at least.
I agree with you.
We're doing our job, of course.
So he's like, oh, well, this bad guy would have, ran for president. And it's like, but he didn't do anything,
He's just a little loony.
Yeah. Who
he just needs to play a sport, get his energy
amongst
out.
us. Yeah. Is this no different than me killing people in Call of Duty? If I want to run for president, should I stop playing Call of Duty?
I'm not following the line of logic anymore.
The whole premise is fucked.
Patrick Bateman, one reading of the stories, he didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
Right? He imagined it all.
Yeah.
So it's all just fantasy for his it's all his sick, twisted, justice, fantasies of justice and revenge, which surely just about anybody who is psycho enough to run for president has.
And you gotta be a little crazy.
You gotta be a little crazy. We've really brought this upon ourselves because we ask these people to be a little crazy.
For God's sakes, I think we like it.
We want an inch and they take a mile.
Oh yeah. So let's.
He'd win Indiana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bateman takes Indiana on a sweep. So let's just say that's what happens. Yeah, he runs. He wins Indiana.
Well, if he was still alive. I mean,
that's a good
I think we punished Christian Bale for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that said a stupid sentence and didn't really think too much about it.
I say we punish him to House Hufflepuff.
Oh God. I think there's certain places that we send prisoners like him, certain islands. We take people like him, you know what I mean? We take people like him when we send them to islands with other prisoners like Australia. So we send him to Australia.
See what happens.
Yeah. The joke is that he's Australian.
Is he Australian? I thought he was British.
I think he's Australian.
I think you might be right. No.
I actually don't remember. I think he's Australian, but
I picked up on the joke because I thought maybe he was British, and the prisoners from there get sent to Australia. So either way,
my joke was more along the lines of we just put him home.
I think when he's there, what we should do to him is he has to kind of constantly star in a production in which they're filming a scene, and a grip keeps walking through the scene, and Christian Bale, because you guys remember when Christian Bale had like a grip walk through the scene and he lost it.
Yeah.
The audio got leaked from him going absolutely apeshit.
That would have been a great story for us if we existed in 2007.
So we make him do that, but we turn it into like a Sisyphean. Sisyphean?
I think
Sisyphean.
That's on the.
Is it on the wheel?
It's not really on the wheel. It says Sisyphus,
but that's because Brianna wrote it that way.
And we make him
funny.
We make him do this scene over and over and over.
For forever.
Right before the end, the grip walks through every time. So he's got to get through most of it.
An eternal nightmare. So let's move right along to our key to the city. Something positive from the week,
Oh.
I know there's not a lot, but let's talk about it. My key to the city this week goes to our dear friends at Be Nice to Me Productions. We filmed an upcoming video with them over the weekend. Don't want to say too much about it, but it's going to be...
It's going to go viral.
It's going to be... So yeah, if that's your kind of thing, watch the video.
And he's been on the show twice. He came out to our live show. Fucking look up his channel and subscribe to him.
Yeah, subscribe.
He makes like some of my favorite fucking YouTube content. And like to see all the work that, that he puts a lot of work in, but like to see like his focus on the work that he was doing, is just like, it's amazing,
Yeah, he had that set on lockdown.
Yeah.
It was great.
And like, he had everything like in his head, like as things were happening, is just like, no, we got to go here. We got to go here. We got to go back. Like he didn't even look at some of the fucking set notes and stuff all that much. Like he would refresh his mind, but like when people would get parts of the script wrong. Like he just had it in his head, like memorized, basically.
Yeah, so go subscribe to Be Nice to Me Productions on YouTube so you won't miss it. I'm sure we'll have him back on the show to talk about it once it comes out, but in the meantime,
I think he's also going to do a premiere at the Crowd Theater.
That's
when that
right.
comes
Yeah,
out too,
we'll have to. Obviously details TBD on all of this,
but just subscribe to all these people and keep you all posted.
Yeah. Ben, anything?
Oh boy. Okay, let me stall by asking you to say the name of the guy that you were just giving big ups to again.
Alex Schultz from Be Nice to Me Productions.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Gonna look into it. Something from this week that,
or anything.
It's interesting because my punishment for myself earlier was to bring more positivity into my life.
This is your first
interacting with the
task.
internet.
Yeah.
Now you're on the spot.
So I got to think of some that I have already brought in. Let me think here.
Take your time, because I also got to look up what mine is, because I didn't remember.
Grant, why don't you just give it? Well, I don't want to.
Because I got to look up what I think is good.
So this could
I don't want to
this could be from
Bernie.
this could be kind of from anywhere.
I gave Bernie the key to the city. Yeah, it can be anything.
We went to the rally over the weekend.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I feel like I just don't want that to be my key to the city right now, unless I find something else that I like better.
It's your key.
Okay, my key to the city is the movie Parasite, still in the theaters, and the AMC Plus pass. Now they're not paying me. So you feel free to bleep out where I said what pass it was. I got a pass to a movie theater, and I went to see Parasite again this weekend. Hadn't seen it for months, and it was so great to see on a second viewing because you watch a movie the second time through. I mean, and that could be the key to the city. That could be the key to the back door is just watching movies repeatedly or like on a second viewing.
Yeah, I've seen it twice as well.
Yeah, especially a movie like that. I feel like there is much more you can, when you know how it ends, like watching the beginning
there's some
changes.
hidden small details in there that make more sense when you've already seen it.
It's it's a dense movie. There's a lot going on, and I had forgotten because and there may be people listening who don't know where it ends. It kind of moves into some more serious territory at certain points. And because of that, I had forgotten just how uproariously funny the first half of the movie is. Mm-hmm. And then there's also these nice comparisons where you're like, okay, well, I know what scene comes after this. So there's I now understand the juxtaposition between these two things. Cause I know the story. So it's once you know the story to something, you can appreciate the craft that goes into it. And then to connect this to online, right? Boy, it got my mind working on screen caps. Right?
I was going to say you had a great one the other day.
I pull I saw it twice in theaters, and that gives me the right, and I don't know if people know this, that makes it legal for you to illegally download
it does
a clip of it. Yeah. That's just the rule. It's buy two, get one free.
Exactly.
And so I pulled some screen caps from it, and man, they're perfect. It's just like the family peeking around the wall. Yeah. It's like my friend online, Postin Monkey. People follow this guy on Twitter, Postin Monkey. He suggested to me pull the screen cap of the Parasite family all turning and looking around the corner, and then you put a second photo after it, and you've got like a meme format.
There you go.
So that brought a smile to my face. It's bringing another one to my face right now.
Just thinking about
it.
I know you had I don't want to. I guess it's kind of a spoilery scene, but you had a clip on your Twitter. It was like when somebody with over 100,000 followers retweets you,
and it's the guy going respect.
Yeah, hilarious. Yeah, I saw you. He got the Wang treatment.
Oh yeah,
Justin Wang.
Oh yeah. So this guy I made a post about Monster Energy drink, and I'm not myself. I don't identify as a gamer, although I have sympathy for their cause.
Thank you.
Thank
you for saying that.
Yes, you're welcome.
Solidarity.
Yes.
That's all we ask.
I'm a GA, gamer ally, gamer adjacent.
Sure.
I got that Monster Energy post retweeted into gamer Twitter quite early on, and it was off to the races after that. The kart races.
You were riding high on Rainbow Road.
That's right. Although that's a dangerous road to, you don't want to get going too fast on there.
True.
Yeah.
And take that shortcut at your own risk, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, who?
Mm-hmm.
My key to the city this week goes to I don't like when we constantly talk about like the same people on the show, but sometimes it's like, well, this happened and then I gotta bring it up because it happened, and it's this is part of the segment is like we've said, like, I don't want to reference Cumtown too much on this show because I think it's funny, but I don't want our mouths wrapped around their dicks the whole show. I don't want this to be the Cumtown tribute podcast.
That being said,
we just recently had Leslie on the show. We brought up Jack Allison. He was on the show a couple months ago. We brought him up like last episode, I think. And my key to the city this week, once again, goes to Jack Allison, who has been leaking emails between him and Jimmy Kimmel, because people, when he worked at the Jimmy Kimmel show, didn't like the fact that he took one day off because he was feeling particularly suicidal that day, and he wasn't believed. And I just like the guy's sort of willingness to call people out for shitty things. Like, he's always been good about that, and I always appreciate that. He stands up for people and like his ideals within the industry, and with all this shit that sort of is this big conglomeration of just fucking garbage, that he sort of makes sense of it in this way of saying, like, no, these are the things that I think, and I'm going to say them. I don't care if there's some, if I'm breaking decorum in order to do it. Like, this is what happened to me. This is what happens to other people. And I'm going to say what I think about it because, like, fuck you. That's why. Like, I really look up to people that are able to do that, And,
absolutely.
So, yeah, he shared a couple tweets about his experience at Jimmy Kimmel. Not all bad. Apparently, he never really talked about most of them too much because, he valued his time at the show and whatnot. But, something happened with this tweet Buttigieg that set him off. And I think he's right to do it. So, yeah.
Go off, King. Unironically, go off. Cut back in here, Zwick.
You can also just take pauses and he cuts pauses out.
I'm just trying to help the guy out.
All right.
This week's Thought Cops Word of the Week comes also from Jack Allison.
Oh, fuck.
Jokerfied.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah. So it's when you read the news too much and you start to really pay attention to what's going on. You start to see the puppet strings, man, and you start to feel a little bit like the Joker. Somebody else who might be running for office. If he were still alive.
If he was still alive, he'd be running for office.
He's still around. The Caped Crusader is chasing him as we speak.
Oh, man. But he's a Nazi, so, fuck him.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, before we get to our final segment of the show, your voicemails. Ben.
Yeah.
Lay it all out, man. Where can we find you?
Yo. You can find me on Please Save Me podcast. You can find Please Save Me on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play. We're not on SoundCloud yet, and we're not on YouTube. So I gotta do some manual uploads to get going over there on those platforms. We don't have a Patreon. We're looking to get one at some point. Put out some additional content. Please Save Me is the official recap podcast for a non-existent TV show. So it gets pretty funny. Some funny send-ups of pop culture and media.
Yeah, I know you have a lot of Chicago comedians on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I believe you've had some of the same guests that we've had on Thought Cops.
I'm sure that we have, yeah.
There's some crossover.
Yeah, check it out. You'll see some of some of the members of the Thought Cops canon coming through.
Technically means our podcasts exist in each other's universe.
Yes.
Amazing.
From the standpoint of canon, right? So if anyone's writing fanfic, feel free to kind of incorporate us together there. And you can find me on Twitter at LimitlessJest. And I think that's about it. Yeah, I'll if there's other stuff, I post it on there or you hear it through the podcast.
Awesome. Check it out, folks. So if you'd like to leave a voicemail for the show, hey, we'll play it. Fuck it. 312-788-7361, or you can always send us an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com.
Hit it.
Hey, Thought Cops, it's Brandon Kirkman here.
Hey,
this meme has been going around the internet for a while, but I've always enjoyed it. But people asking what their incident at their high school was when they're graduating or anything of that sort. My two favorite were a bunch of seniors let go of like thousands of bouncy balls, and then the whole day everybody in every class just kept bouncing around and drove like every teacher crazy, and that's pretty fun. The less fun one was that same group of seniors, when a bunch of people were coming in that day, threw balloons full of piss at people, and they got suspended for good reason. But I remember one of them overhearing, like, in class talking about, like, oh, I can't believe we got suspended for it. We're just having a little prank. Yeah, man, piss balloons are piss balloons. And as always...
Thank you. That one picked up.
That toilet picked up. If it doesn't, I'm getting a new toilet. I'm going to get the most powerful toilet they have on the market, and then everybody's going to love me. Bye.
And we love you no matter what kind of toilet you got. I'll say that right now. Oh, boy. Pranks before Twitter.
I just love, I don't think anyone's ever had to justify to me before the fact that piss balloons are, in fact, still piss balloons.
Hey, piss balloons are piss balloons. What are you going to do?
It's assault, isn't it?
It's like a sex crime, I think. You can't throw bodily fluids at someone like that.
Yeah.
A guy in high school, who was 18, like, whipped out his dick and pissed on a locker and got, like, charged with a sex crime.
At your high school?
At my high school,
Damn.
yeah. I mean, because there's a bunch of minors around, and he had his penis out.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know if it's the same thing with piss balloons, but I've never read the laws on the legality of piss balloons, so I couldn't tell you, but I would imagine.
Okay, let's go. 99 piss balloons. Da-na-na-na-na-na. I don't know. We'll figure that one out later.
Kevin, what do you got in that squirt gun?
Pee-pee.
Is that acceptable?
Only if I shoot it in my mouth. No one else.
No, pee-pee's worse because pee-pee has to be sourced from a child.
Well,
or a developmentally challenged adult.
Pee-pee.
That's what I call it.
Point taken.
I can't believe that we live in a society
I can.
that we need fucking listicle or fucking just clickbait articles, instructions on how to wash your hands. I thought we learned this at like age 2, but apparently there are people who need to be told to wash in between your fingers. Do it for a good 30 seconds, then wash thoroughly. Can't believe we need to tell people this. I'm not mad at them making these articles even. I'm mad that there's a necessity for this. People are fucking gross. I saw people saying that they don't wash their hands when they're at home. And this isn't just men. I've already accepted that men are disgusting. They don't fucking wash their hands after pissing. But I expect better from women. I don't know why. They are constantly disappointing me. No punishment. Just wash your fucking hands, you nasty ass bitches.
Well, okay.
She's Joker-fied.
So I know how to wash my hands.
I think that the coronavirus is a psyop to get us to really wash our hands. There's no virus. We're just not washing properly.
It's whatever the governmental agency in charge of health is. Not the FDA, not the USDA. I'm thinking of the USDA. Is that dairy? No. Diet? Department of Agriculture.
Yeah.
So whoever's in charge of hand washing, CDC, something like that.
CDC, I think, yeah.
I don't know what it is, but somebody they've created this whole thing.
The
It's
World
not real.
Health Organizations, the hand washing globalists.
Yes.
They're not going to tell me to wash my hands. I'm going to wash my own goddamn hands.
Yeah, how many fucking reactionaries are like just, yeah, my finger went through the toilet paper and I ain't going to wash. Triggered.
It's a government conspiracy. Don't wash your hands.
Yeah.
I wash my hands in Alpha Brain.
Yeah. Which you can buy on my website for $99.
Yeah.
Not really a useful thing I added, but it's fine.
I haven't washed my hands one time as an adult. I've been slowly building up. I've been training my body. You'd be amazed at what your body can get used to if you train it.
God, that's probably... I'm surprised I haven't seen that take yet. It's like, give me the fucking virus. I'll show it what's what.
Oh, it's out there. Give it to me.
Yeah, it's good for your immune system. It's like having the kids to get together. They have a chicken pox party. They give them all the chicken pox early. They'll never get it again.
Like that episode of the Rugrats, which I hear was going to be called something else. But
when they all got coronavirus.
I hate to dredge this up, but do you know who has that take Internet famous old online personality Maddox has a new article that says, I want to get the coronavirus. Please cough in my mouth.
I'll tell you also the take is also internet famous, but real world famous Englishman Boris Johnson.
What?
He brought out the take that, we should just, it's going to be bad, but we should just get it over with.
I've heard that
let's just
take from someone else.
let's just get as many people to get it as quickly as possible. It's sort of as if like it's like you're working it out of your system or something,
That's not how diseases work.
Right? Yeah.
There was another guy. There was a guy like on the street, on the floor of Wall Street, talking about the precipitous fall of like the entire stock market, and he's just like, yeah, we'll just give it to everyone and just get it over with. And it's like,
just make it our new normal. Hey, if everyone has coronavirus, nobody will be sick. There's no such thing as normal, man.
It's
what's normal?
What's Syndrome from The Incredibles?
Yeah.
If everyone's sick, no one is. Deep cut.
Tell me if that's how you feel when you got the Rona.
I saw Weird Al was like, no, I won't be doing a song called My Corona. So don't hold your breath. That's not going to stop Grant, though.
Yeah, maybe that'll be the outro song.
Anyway, guys, thanks everybody for listening. Ben, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
it's been a long time coming, so we're happy to finally get you in.
I love it. I love to get some of this stuff out of my brain, out into the world.
It sucks, but it's also therapeutic.
Yeah,
it didn't suck at all.
Therapy.
I mean, that's just a little bit of
I think we've gone nuts after doing 158 weeks of this.
Have you ever missed a week?
We took a couple weeks off.
Okay.
I think after episode of 100, we were just like, yeah, let's do 2 weeks off.
Let's recoup.
Give it a breather.
Did help, I think. Helped a little bit.
And I'm just going to sit back and let the internet do its thing.
Oh, what do they do without us?
You turn the internet into, what is it from The Wire?
I haven't seen
Amsterdam. There's in one of the seasons they let them have like a free zone where they'll basically effectively decriminalize selling drugs, and that's what you guys did to the internet.
Didn't work.
More or less.
Can't say I'm surprised.
It's got way worse.
Yeah.
Well, we're here every week, folks. If you feel like supporting the show, give us a little donation if you like at patreon.com/thoughtcops. We got all sorts of bonus content and goodies for you there, so you won't get nothing.
You won't get nothing, folks.
Thanks,
Sign
guys.
up.